Put it in it. How are you?
I'm well. How are you today?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for nobody tuning in yet. They'll be here in a minute.
We gotta sweeten the pot a little
Welcome,
bit.
sweeten the pot to another episode of the People's Mic. I am Jimmy Peoples. I am here with, introduce yourself.
Danielle Hernandez. Pleasure to meet you all.
Hernandez. How are you?
I'm excellent.
Good. Damn right you are.
The sun is shining.
That's
the
why.
sky is blue. It felt like spring 2 days ago.
You're the only person that I say you are more positive than me. You must be a psychopath. Like
I introduced myself as that. Honestly, it's the psychopaths that don't tell you they're psychopaths that you have to worry about.
Absolutely.
Come on.
How many people have you killed? Like,
None yet.
None. How'd you take on? What'd you do today?
I slept in. I was having some pretty cool dreams. I'm a very wild dreamer, so I tend to hold on to sleep when I can.
Big in musical or movies?
I don't think I've actually had a musical dream yet.
I don't think so. No.
But no, like fun things. The other night I was having a dream that I was in a bodega and they were telling me their policy of keeping all the bananas on the lowest shelf but lifting it just high enough so the little white bunnies could come out.
What?
I don't know.
All right, you're Spanish?
Yes,
Latina?
yes. My family's from Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, of course you dream about bodegas. I've never had a dream about a bodega. Like, I've never been...
I don't think I have before that one either. But,
I gotta stop at a bodega.
Gotta get my bananas and bunnies in one place. I'm from New York. My family resides in Staten Island.
Staten Island?
Staten Island.
Very handsy.
Yeah, I'm a very expressive person. These things.
Do you argue with your hands too? Do you argue?
I must, but I don't often argue. Right. So, words out on that one.
Words?
I mean, we could try and have a fight, but I'll probably just laugh.
I feel like you just size them down. Like, what do you think you're doing? Like, did you think about that?
Yeah. There's two sides of it. Either I'll be like, oh man, I see your point and I see my point, and now I'm just like, there's no fight here because I just see it.
Yeah,
or like I'm mad because it's on a hurt level, and if I'm hurt, I'm just like quivering lip, and I'm like, no, don't look at me. And then gotta turn away.
Oh, you don't cry?
Well, of course I cry, but I can't let other people see me cry. They'll know my weakness. Yeah. But it's okay. If you're a true close person, you're allowed to see me cry. Wow. Otherwise, you gotta like suck those tears back out.
So theatrical. I feel like everything's a musical.
You know what? A lot of the time, yes.
Yeah.
I break into, I'll make my own songs. I'll be like, I'm stirring my soda. And it's just a song now.
Just a song.
Yes. All life should be lived this way.
Damn right it should. That's why he had you. I was like, she is too dope to not be seen by people.
Word.
With that word.
Thank you.
That's the what do you call it? The quotes. I'll be here for the movie. I don't know what the shit's
Which
called.
movie?
For your movie. Movie
My
of your
movie,
life.
the movie of my life. Just one? I'm going to have a series.
Jimmy People said she was dope as shit.
You remember her from the Jimmy People's open mic.
That's
But
funny.
did you know?
How did you get to this point? How did you get to comedy?
I was definitely born into it. I have on my mother's side.
Born into it. Legacy?
My hands need to talk. Yeah, my mother's side, they're all performers. Like my grandfather, he was a musician, and then he had a brood of 6 children, and at least half of them ended up musical or theatrically inclined. And so when I was born, my mother and her sister, my aunt, also known as Titi, my mom and my Titi, they had a cable show. And so at the tender age of 2, I was old enough to take stage directions. And so they started putting me into their little skits. Yeah. Their first one was a musical. Nice. It was the la 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 la. The sing a song.
I know, sing a song.
Sing a song. I remember it forever. It's been in me since I was 2. So, and then from there, just the cable show, which went on for a little while, and then in school projects, and my mother was determined that I do all of the extracurricular activities because she did not have those opportunities growing up. It was definitely like West Side Story growing up in New York in the 50s and the 60s, and they were Puerto Ricans, so they were those guys. So I got to do a lot of fun things. She put me in like dance class. Tap was my favorite, but I didn't stick with it. I stuck with gymnastics for a little bit. Now I dream of trampolines. I'm like, why can't we just have dates there? That would be so much more more fun. Yeah.
They have that in Jersey, which is pretty
They
dope.
do. I mean,
Have
they have trampoline places everywhere. Most recently, I went like in the spring because I was like, I'm stressed. I need a day of just jumping. But then I was the only adult in a trampoline place filled with kids, and I was like, thank God I'm not a man.
They didn't have like
I
adult
feel
night?
like a predator.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I'm
have
just
like
here
adult
to jump.
night? I just want to jump. Not here for the kids.
Like, forget the ball pit.
Did you go by yourself? You went by yourself?
I did. I went by myself.
You fucking weirdo.
I
You're still. Nah, I go. I'm like, who the fuck? Who's this?
If I can't get someone to go with me, I'm gonna go by myself. All right, I'm not gonna miss out on jumping.
The only place I can do that at is the movie theater because
Jump?
to go
by
by
yourself.
myself. Yeah.
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 I mean,
Like-
let me see.
like I
feel
can't go to a
that's actually
restaurant.
one place I don't go. Who am I going to make comments to?
No.
Who am I going to be that guy?
I can talk out. I go just so I can eat in the dark. Just so I can be the creepy guy, eat whatever I want in the dark. Leave me alone.
Is that what you prefer?
Yeah.
Do you eat in the dark at home? Just like one light bulb in a different room?
Yeah.
So you
The light bulb from
have a soft glow.
from the screen. You
Oh,
eat with the
yeah, there it
screen
is.
and then just eat
Yeah.
my food like a troll.
So you eat under a bridge?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need a bridge in my apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime those Billy Goats
That's
rough
fucking
come
weird.
by, you're
That's
like,
weird.
hey!
I do want a billy goat. That would be dope. Is that a real thing? A billy goat?
It's an old nursery rhyme, I think. Or
It's just a goat. It's just a billy goat is the oldest.
Yeah,
goat.
yeah. Well, they were the Billy Goats gruff. They were hardcore. They had leather jackets. they Billy Goats gruff.
That's
I mean,
Your
they don't have
whole-
the correct joints for it. So.
holy shit. Your whole life is just a musical voiceover. Like it was like the billy goat's gruff.
I like to envision myself as a cartoon. Actually.
That you are a cartoon.
Yeah,
I was like, you are way
I'm
too
actually
animated.
bursting with a million cartoons
Yo.
trapped inside human flesh.
I know you are. I just want to get out.
They're trying.
You're like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You're
Yes.
like-
Oh my gosh! Do you know what I learned recently? The book. Well, first of all, it is a book.
It
I
is a
didn't
book.
know that,
It
but
is
it
a book.
is. And the author changed the ending after the movie came out because the movie was such a success. But the book is like way dark.
Really?
Way
Yeah,
dark.
yeah.
It is not the happy movie that we all know and love.
reread that.
I highly recommend. Or, shameless plug for a favorite YouTube channel, I would recommend checking out The Dom. He does Lost in Adaptation, and he'll take books and he will compare them to their movie counterparts, see how they fared. He actually does a really great entertaining
That's
job.
dope.
That's how I found out.
See, before I was going to yell at you for plugging somebody else on this, but then I was like, no, that sounds pretty good. That sounds
I
legit.
recommend.
No, well, there it is. There it is. Hopefully you get some. Are you on social media?
I'm on social media. I have a Facebook, Danielle Hernandez.
Yeah.
Is it
I mean,
a
we won't get that
professional
today. Yeah,
Facebook?
we're not even close to ending. We're not even close to that.
No.
We'll say it again at the
I
end.
have an improv group. It's not my improv group, but I'm a part of it.
You're a part of it?
We're called Say What NYC, and you remember us because then you go Say What NYC. That's
I
us.
think that's your favorite part. Is that your
I mean,
favorite part?
obviously it is.
You're the biggest one.
And then you get the call back. You go Say What, and everyone goes. That's how you rope your audience in.
You broke them in.
Yeah,
Nice. What was I going to say? Do you have are you a vlogger?
Am I a
YouTube?
vlogger? You know, in an
feel like you
interesting
would
spectrum,
kill.
I was quasi-vlogging
Yeah.
last year, but it was not comedy vlogging. It was like social activism vlogging, and it was because of Standing Rock and the pipeline.
Yeah.
And so I was doing it on Facebook Live. So currently not up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Eventually one day.
That
I need an intern.
We'll
Someone
say-
be my intern.
Get it an intern.
I'm hiring interns.
So
We'll
easy.
offer friendship
So
and high fives.
easy. It's so easy. You can get
Yeah,
one.
I mean, I'm sure I could. It's the Staten Island thing, you know, like it's so far away from everyone
There's
else.
a girl and somebody in Staten Island that just wants to be a
There
part of
is.
something.
There is.
Singing a musical
We will
in their
find each
window,
other.
and they're like,
One day Danielle will come. That's me.
just sitting there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but vlogging will be in the future. I have too many ideas, and then I can't decide which one to commit to.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm a million cartoons bursting out at once.
make a list.
Yes.
Make the list. Start from the top.
That is the answer.
Boom. I guess that's a answer. Start from the
That's
top.
one of many answers.
One of many.
Like a little scroll just unravels forever. Just keep reading.
Yeah, and check them off. What pisses you off? What do you get?
Oh, what
bothers you?
pisses me
What do
off?
you wake up to and be like,
Genuine
in your life?
lack of care for other people gets on the nerves because it's just it's sort of drilled into us from like childhood to
Okay.
either make yourself self-centered or complete opposite end of the spectrum. You're not allowed to give anything to yourself because you have to always give to others. And we have to find this balance in between. I am a Libra. I do strive for balance. It's a thing.
Nice.
I do subscribe to astrology, but more like cosmology, the bigger picture, not like magazine astrology.
I am a newser post.
Okay, what's that mean? A newser post?
News or post. So either I'll read the Daily News or
the news or the post.
The news or post. And if they match, then I'll
That's your
believe
day.
it. Yeah.
What's your sign, Jimmy?
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces.
Yeah.
So March or February?
February.
Coming up.
Yeah. Holy moly. Yeah. This is cool. I don't do holidays. I don't celebrate holidays.
You don't celebrate
I'm
holidays?
a hermit. Yeah. My birthday's a
celebrate
holiday.
for you.
But yeah, you can. Absolutely.
What day?
The 24th.
24th. Excellent.
24th.
Logging it away.
February
24th. We're celebrating Jimmy people's birthday.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yimmy is in
No, we're
Spanish.
going to celebrate in your honor. I love celebrating. That's my purpose in life. I will celebrate
Need
anything.
an excuse to celebrate.
I don't need an excuse. I just find reasons to bring other people in.
That's fucking awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Single?
Yes.
Single?
So single.
So why?
So single. I make it, actually, it's part of my comedy, like exploring my own psychosis. Yeah. Everyone has psychosis. And I mean, I came in, here we are at Otto's Shrunken Head. We do open mics here. Yeah. I came here this week, actually, and I was working on some Christian Catholic school Adam and Eve funsies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, Catholic school's a huge part of it. Yeah. And then, oh gosh, 3rd grade through senior year of high school. Okay. But I mean, the formative years was like 3rd grade. And then before that, I went to what was known as CCD. I don't actually know what that stands for, but it was an after school, because I did go to public school for a little while, the after school Christian course. Yeah. And I mean, I don't mind it. I actually find the Bible fascinating, because to me, it's like my mythology. Yeah. The Greeks have their mythology. I've got my mythology. Yeah. But it's not like tangible history to me. And I have a lot of people in my family. It's a huge family. I did mention I was Puerto Rican, right? Yeah. My mother has 6 siblings. My father has 5. They all had kids, and then they all had kids. So there's a lot of people in my famany that do subscribe to it in a very historical, this is it way. And I'm just like, I'm going to crack all the jokes. Because, I don't know, I find my fascination is with like sex and the Bible and how they just ruined it for everybody. Yeah. They just ruined it for everybody. Yeah. And like I was a kid. First of all, I learned about sex super early on. I was 8, but I had older cousins. Okay, of course. So they were like, hey, Danielle, you want to learn stuff? And I was like, Holly, I sure do. And honestly, I really believe we should be teaching kids about sex like way young, because when you learn about it that young, you learn, one, you've got to be responsible about it, because shit can go down.
It's who you learn from.
It's who you learn from, and it's how you learn about it. If you learn about it as an okay thing, then you treat it with respect and with the fun that it can be, but if you learn about it from a source of shame, you're still a freaking human and you have needs, but now you're like, oh, my needs are bad, and then like self-flagellation occurs in the mental capacity. Yeah. So I bring all this up because my humor stems from like contradicting that, exploring that. I mean, obviously it still has affected me, and I have my own source of fun and shame that I'm like, we're going to have to work through this, people.
What was the thing that shamed you? Can I ask?
What?
What was one of the incidents that
oh gosh, that's a great question. Well, in a not hilarious spectrum, I found that being a woman in New York, the older I got, the more likely I'd become a statistic. And that's quite unfortunate, but I have found to be true. And so there was one night in a bar, we were having lots of fun, there were beers, there were shots, the bartender was involved. Actually, it was the bartender. But he was off duty now, but he wasn't off duty when he'd been serving me shots. So, like, it started out with a great conversation, then it led to some making out, which is always lots of fun, or should be. And then, this was only a few years ago, so I was 27. I was 27, and then I can't remember where the recommendation came from, but a bathroom was brought up, and we're like, we're going to make out in the bathroom, tee. But he was like, no, we're going to have sex in this bathroom. But he didn't say that. He just sort of went for it. And again, when you're mixing drinks, also this is where finally I was like, Danielle, you have got to get a grip on how much you drink and when. I like, the bathroom light was off. I was standing near a public bathroom, and he took me to, like, one of the employees' bathroom, and then the light was off, which I, like, in the fuzziness of my brain, I'm like, that's weird. And then I found myself on the floor, but in the fuzziness of my brain, I was just like, that's weird. And luckily, nothing too serious happened. I had a tampon in.
Good
Girl
job.
was on her period. God bless
the universe.
But I mean, it was still traumatic. He did try to make an entry. There was a tear, and I had to go to my GYN, and I was out of insurance. So luckily, I had worked for this GYN in the past. So I called her, and I was like, can I come in, please? And they were like, oh my God, Danielle, of course. So one, I found sister solidarity because I had to get blood work done. I wanted all the tests done. I was like, I'm taking this for granted. And I couldn't afford all the tests because it's so expensive, America. But the two women who were at the blood bank, that's not what it's called, wherever you go to get blood work done, the science office.
The blood worky stuff.
The blood worky stuff. I
I
told them I had been through a brief attack and that what were the most important tests to get done that I could afford in this price range. And so they like crossed off superfluous things. Like I didn't need a pregnancy test. There was no insertion. I did need like an HIV test. Give that to me. Clean. And I mean, it sucked and it was wonderful at the same time because, again, there's a real coming together when that happens. But at the same time, after that, I was like, I need everyone to stay away from me for a long time. And I mean, at this point, it's now been a long time. And I'm still like, I know I've got needs, but I've still got these issues. And so that was a huge source of shame because I self-blamed. I was like, I've been drinking. It was my fault that he did this. But he was the one serving me drinks. He saw how much I had been drinking. He saw I was also mixing drinks. And then there's also this huge issue with our hookup culture that it's just common not to ask, what do you want to do? Or talk about what you would like to do. And that has to change. It's a huge problem.
For younger people.
I mean, for
when you get older.
everyone. I'm in the midst. I'm still like a young person, but I'm not in my early 20s anymore. I'm 30 now. So I just crossed over. I was very happy about it.
On the line.
I was like, 30. 30, flirty, and fabulous. What was that movie? Jennifer, whatever.
Who?
What was the 13 going on 30? Yeah, that's where that quote's from. But I was excited because I was like, yes, no longer young and dumb. Now I'm slightly older and dumb. Wisdom.
Dumb less.
That's funny. So, yeah, that was a lot of shame. I had a lot of friends be like, you need to talk to people, and you can talk to us, but we can only help you so much. Yeah, and I did. I sought out like small counseling and spoke with my doctor and my family. My friends were like, you got to talk to your mom about this, and I was like,
talk to your mom.
But I did.
In the Spanish culture, the mom is the therapist.
Oh, right? God, yes. But you know what? In the Spanish culture, the daughter is also the therapist.
Really?
For the mom.
Yeah.
And everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest.
Like black, it's shame upon us. Like, if we go out and talk to somebody, like, talk about your feelings, like, black guys don't do that. Like,
I know. So many people don't do that. So many.
You know?
Only recently.
But white people was like, no, I got two therapists.
But you know what? I feel like the feelings they're talking about are all the surfacey feelings. And we all have those. Yeah. But the feelings we have to talk about are the ones that we keep repressing and burying. And we have to, like, throw a lifeline into the darkness and be like, all right, issue, who wants to come up today? And then, what happens is when you do that, you feel the same way again. None of us want to feel those feelings. There's a reason we've repressed them. It's because they feel shitty. Yeah. But when you allow yourself to feel those feelings, they evaporate. When you don't allow yourself to feel those feelings, they become stuck in you. Like a physical thing, like another arm has grown on me. Yeah. And you can't get rid of it because it's a part of you. And the only way to move through it is to be with it and be honest about it. Work in progress. For the rest of our lives. This isn't a one-time thing, people.
Yeah.
All of life is
No,
therapy.
it's just muscle.
It's
keep
very
it
nice
in. No, just keep it in. Go to the gym. Throw it out. I'm good.
Yeah, I call my arms spaghetti arms.
No. You have little guns. You have little guns.
My little guns.
I get you.
Pistols.
Get you on the our Saturday vlog where we work out with comics. It's a sets between sets.
Damn, is that a thing?
That's a thing.
Do you tell jokes while you work out?
We just talk. It talks. It gets funny, but I'll show like a clip of your set or something. It's not. They thought
Solid.
A lot of people was like, "Yo, we doing comedy in the gym?" No, just come work out. It's just a vlog. It's a vlog.
Oh, that's
My
cool.
vlog, and I'll get you on that.
So you have many vlogs then?
I have a couple of vlogs. I try
Tell
to
me
stay
more
busy.
about your vlogs.
Right now it's just sets between sets,
Okay.
and we do one with a good friend of mine, Dominic Leonelli, where we just show up on places and just talk until we get kicked out. So
cool. Oh, that sounds like fun.
So
that also sounds like trouble.
Right now, so we've just been getting kicked out of libraries.
Oh man,
So-
I get kicked out of libraries too easily.
Yeah.
Because this is my normal volume. I can't
awesome.
bringing
We
it
might
down.
have you
like,
on this to do because you would be able to get us into better places. Like,
Oh,
we
definitely.
could all walk in
Let's
together
do
like
it.
we're with her.
Act like you know the people.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
be like, we'll be in the back.
That's what we were trying to do with like comics. Like we were going to show up at their jobs and tell them not to say who we were, and then
Okay.
just talk to them until we got kicked out.
Yeah.
You know,
Like,
and
oh,
then
I
just
know Joe.
just kind of interview
There's always a
them. Yeah, this is Joe. I know plenty of Joe. Joe, hit me
Joe,
up.
you know I know you. You don't remember me? Now you owe me dinner. Ooh.
What movies are you watching right now?
What movies am I
Let's
just?
get to it.
Well, you know, I'm more of a sitcom person.
Are you a sitcom?
I love sitcom. My favorite sitcom, just to briefly go into that, is this British show called Coupling from early 2000, so turn of the
Wow.
century.
Wow.
Yeah, and because, I don't know, early 2000 was when sex was the most open it's ever been.
Yeah.
It's much more closed down
Yeah.
now. It's 2018.
Really?
Oh,
You
yeah.
think?
It's open in different ways.
Yeah.
That shame policy comes back.
Uh-huh.
It comes back so much. Because the women are more vivacious in the early 2000s and it's more acceptable. So Coupling is a British comedy. It only had 4 seasons, but they're like full 30-minute episodes because they do it differently there. Everything is hilarious. Everything. The writing. And it's not like the people have to make the writing funny. The writing is funny. And so it's just watching people live their everyday lives and their crazy shenanigans. So I'm obsessed with it. It's very bright and colorful. But movies. Well, it was just the Christmas season, so there were a lot of Christmas movies on in my house. But my traditional Christmas movie is now The Princess Bride because they've been playing it like a few years in a row, just on loop for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Which is how I watched that movie anyway.
Princess Bride,
So,
wow.
oh god, it's my favorite
That's your
movie.
movie?
I popped out of the womb the week after it came out in theaters.
That
I was
is
just like, oh my
hilarious.
god, The Princess Bride! Wham, motherfucker!
I couldn't wait.
I
Couldn't wait. I did see that in the movie theater. Surprisingly, that's weird. That's
Is
weird.
it?
Yeah,
Why?
I was in the movie theater and you were born.
And I was
okay,
being born.
I
I was like, 3 years from now, I gotta be on Jimmy Kimmel.
Hurry up! Princess Bride. My favorite is It's a Wonderful Life. Christmas movie.
Classic.
It's a Wonderful
Classic.
Life.
You know, I've never sat through the full thing of it.
I can sit through that thing. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Wonderful Life, and then everything else is action movies. Somebody has to be shot in the face.
Is that right? Now, do
Yeah.
they have to be shot in the face with a gun, or can they
No,
be shot
the more
in the
creative,
face
the better.
with, like, a pie?
The more creative, just a pie. Does it have to be?
I
a
have
gun?
I have to bring the death out of it.
Such a
That's another
gun.
sketch I have where I just address how much killing we
Yeah,
love, and
yeah,
we're like, we don't
love
want to
it.
talk about it, but
Yeah.
we do. Yeah.
Yeah, the more
Yeah,
the
the
more
more
the
action
more
it is.
violence to a good soundtrack, the
Well,
better.
that makes all the difference.
Yeah, that makes
Ooh,
a difference.
Pirates of the Caribbean did that for me.
John Wick did it for me.
John
Wick is
classic.
fucking awesome.
Classic.
I don't know about
Not
classic,
classic, but,
like
like, I
classic,
hear it a
classic
lot.
from the shit, like the shittiest classic
Never-
you made.
never
but
sat through it.
there's going to be 3 of them, and
Okay. We have a plan.
yeah, there's a plan.
budget?
There's a budget.
We're
and,
gonna
hey,
override that budget.
He's avenging his dog again.
He just can't get over it.
No, he's
And you know
saving
what?
his
We
dog.
can't expect him to.
No. And the funny thing is, I was doing a this is my favorite part of that is that I was doing a film festival with my brother. We had to do a screening at some office, and I walked around the corner, and I was meeting my brother, and there was this guy who was dressed. He was just a bummy. He looked like Jesus, just sitting next to a tree with a beagle. No shoes on, a tattered shirt that was just ripped at the bottom, and I was like, "You're a beautiful bum." And then I was like, "Oh, that's Keanu Reeves." He was just sitting in the street.
He is a beautiful bum.
Yeah, beautiful bum, and he was just petting his beagle, but the beagle was the dog in the movie, so he was getting ready for John Wick,
snap.
and I was like, "Oh, that's the beagle." He was in character,
Making connections.
Yeah, he was in.
That's not
what he
your
was
dog.
wearing. Was what he was wearing in the movie.
Was it really?
Yeah, just
so you caught him like just
in character, but he wasn't
takes.
filming it. He was just coming for a meeting, but he was in character.
In costume too.
In costume.
The costume director must have had a fit.
He's fucking man. I'm not that invested.
No,
not at all. Like let's read it, do it, shoot it, put it out.
He's like,
Keanu Reeves. I'm Keanu, and he is that guy. He is that.
Did you ever see the Dracula movie he did? It's known as Bram Stoker's Dracula. They put Bram Stoker's name on it, even though they were like,
I remember
also
that.
different storylines.
Just different
storylines. I mean, that guy was so exhausted from the Matrix that he was just like, no, please.
Was it boring?
Stop.
Yeah.
It was just not Keanu's best performance, but worth a watch.
Wow.
Not for Keanu, just in general.
He's surprisingly,
That movie's messed up.
he has so many movies. He has so many movies for no reason. Like so many.
Is it for no reason? I think it's his profession. They're his
for,
job. He's
for
going
a
to
reason.
work.
For a reason, but you'd be surprised how many movies he has. Like when you think.
I mean, I've
like,
never looked. So.
Yeah, he has a lot of fucking movies.
Okay, so favorite actor then. Is Keanu your favorite actor? Or
because he's in John Wick, I guess so. Like when I look back, I was like, I guess he's one of my favorite, but I don't want him to be.
So it's like,
what the hell are you doing here again? Like here's this
Again,
movie.
nice.
I like that movie. I don't know if I like the movie or I like him, but I guess I do. And my favorite actor. I don't know.
it's a hard question.
Yeah, it's a hard question. I like The Rock. I like Denzel. I don't know. It'll come to me after.
All right.
I'll
There's
say
no
this.
pressure.
No I was like,
one's
man,
done to you
I should have said.
before.
Somebody's like, you didn't say me. We were watching you live, and you didn't say me.
The beads of sweat. I see that.
I was like, no, but what I meant was.
What I meant to say was.
Who's your favorite?
They're all great. My favorite actor, Rock Hudson. He's an oldie but a goodie. I love old movies because my mother loves old movies, so they're the first movies I would watch, and Rock Hudson's just so dreamy.
Wow.
In the closet gay for so long because it was the 50s and the 60s and it was not
guys.
okay. But he actually brought the AIDS awareness movement because that's what he died of on my birthday. God, so tragic. Rock, I love you. But so handsome. Yeah. And not just that, like, obviously he's a handsome man, but, like, whenever he plays characters, he's effortlessly charming and
Keep talking.
when it comes to movies, like, I'm a very theatrical person. Shockingly, I'm sure you did not pick up on that. Because I've done so much theater in my life. I'm big, I'm dramatic, and I don't mean, like, angsty dramatic. Just everything is big. And film, everything is small. You have to bring it down. It's the shift in your eyes. It's the twitch in your lips. And he does that, like, again, effortlessly. It's amazing. A little twitch in the hand. But you know what it means. It's his body language.
Yeah. This is the only podcast episode where we might have to break out into song.
Might?
Yeah.
Pick me right now. It's a marvelous night for a moon dance with the stars up above in your eyes. I like that.
You do. I do. I like maybe blues rock.
Blues rock?
Yeah, blues rock. The heavies. Anything.
Pick one. And off the top of my head, I don't think so. But if you start singing along, I might know it.
Anything with a doesn't have to be a black guy. A black guy with a drum and a bass.
With a drum and a bass.
That's my
Excellent.
favorite
In all
song.
of music history.
That's my
Hold on,
favorite
I've got
song.
one on deck.
Black guy with a drum and a bass. Something does it for me. That's my walking music for the gym.
I do love a good drum.
Yeah,
you know,
a good.
Yes.
That's a terrible drum.
No, it's not. You
Like
started to sound like the 20s, like bum 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 bum.
Yeah, those mobster.
Ooh, I can see you in one of those hats.
Yeah, that was it. Like, I ever get a special,
Yeah.
It's gonna be
when you get your special.
That's what I'm talking about.
Straight.
When I get a special, it's gonna be in a zoot suit.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be in a zoot suit.
Is it gonna be a print or a solid?
Oh, solid. I gotta go solid.
Classic.
Gotta go solid. Solid navy blue or the big hat. I just need a hat.
Yeah, you do.
I need a hat and I need
You're
to
gonna
swing
rock
the hat.
that hat. You're gonna rock it so hard.
Rock it so
Yes.
hard.
Oh, yes.
Where do we go from here?
Anywhere left.
What is nuclear war? Are you afraid of it?
I'm not afraid of it, but I'm aware that it's a possible thing.
That was in the news today.
I know.
They were talking about
oh my god, they were the doomsday clock. It's at 2. 2 minutes to midnight, something like that. And apparently it hasn't been there since 1953. Good job. We're doing great.
I was looking at the clock, right? And I was like,
do you have a doomsday clock?
Yeah, I was like, who has a doomsday clock? Who has the doomsday? I had so many questions.
Family?
I was like, that clock.
Yeah.
I'm pointing at the clock. But that fucking clock was like the worst clock that was made by like...
I don't know. You know, the clock has a history,
Yeah.
and it does serve a purpose, but I don't know enough about it to talk about it.
I
I can bluster, but I genuinely don't.
I would just hear people roasting the doomsday clock. Like, why?
I mean, if you're roasting it, then you better know more about it than we do.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know shit about
there's
it.
a method to it.
I was like, I know it was a thing, and then they keep bringing it up, like the doomsday clock. It's like...
But you know what? There was also all the hype in 2012 about the world ending. And you know what? The world did end as we knew it, but it kept going as well.
But
so maybe that's
Y2K,
what it'll be with nuclear. You know? Oh my god, yes!
Remember that?
Everyone's like the computer.
Is it over? It's over. And you want to keep your eyes wider. Hi,
hello.
How are you? Amazing.
Excellent.
Because Busta Rhymes had all those songs that led up to
Y2K.
Yeah, Y2K. He's like, there's only 3 years left. There's only 2 years left, and then he went and got fat, and now disappeared.
That's what he was warning us. He was
there's only 2 years left that I can
cholesterol intake.
He's got that fatty meat back head.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. It's a roll.
Yeah, it's a roll. Yeah.
You know, when it's on people you love, it's kind of fun because you'll be like, "Hey, uncle, what's up?"
Yeah.
But on strangers,
I got a tight one. Mine's pretty good.
You got a tight roll.
A tight roll back. Yeah. A tight roll back. What else is going on? I don't know. A lot of ugly stuff's going on.
Yeah. Let's protect the environment. I love nature.
Are you for the environment? Are you recycling?
My god, yes! I'm all about clean water. That was what the pipeline thing was about.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about the pipeline. It was that they were going through with the pipeline without the correct the correct license. Damn it, there's a word. But without the correct paperwork, let's just say that. And then corporations hired a private militia in the state police against civilians. It was insane. It was crazy, and it was happening in everyday life. And most people didn't know about it because it was 2016, so blackouts. And then it was 2017, so continued blackouts. Wow. Yes. So clean water is my agenda. I actually call the White House on the reg. I would say on a daily basis, but that's a lie.
Who calls the White House?
The White House comment line.
See, we need people like you because I'm never calling the White House.
Yeah.
Never. It was never. I'll bring somebody on the podcast who calls the White House to fight for you guys.
I haven't called today. I woke
you missed
up
the call?
late. I woke up late and then I was like, Jimmy Peoples, on the show. No joke.
You gotta call the You and my grandmother call the White House.
Someone's gotta do it. And you know, volunteers answer the phone, so give them something to do.
Do you write letters? Are you a letter writer?
I haven't written letters. I'm a one-person team. Sometimes I exhaust myself. So I have not written letters. But
I would like to see that point. I'd like to see you get
maybe
to that
crash.
Dear
White House, I missed calling you.
What kind of pencil are you writing with?
I'm writing with a crayon.
With a fist?
A crayon, okay?
With a crayon.
Full-on inner child is writing.
Here is...
I'm not even using the alphabet. I'm using symbols, you know. Just went drop dead Fred on it.
I saw somebody the other day he was writing with a full fist. Like nothing.
Yeah.
Like you Neanderthal. Well, how are you an adult with
maybe
a full...
it's a very meaty pen.
Full fist. Full fist. He's like, yeah, I'll take the pen. And I was like, no, I cannot.
Double fist that pen?
No, man. If I will see him again and have him do this for the podcast. Full fist.
Right?
Full
Can you
fist.
just write us a sample with your full fist?
I was like, I cannot be in your presence. I feel like you're going to rub off on me.
I'm threatened.
You monster. Oh man, hi. Come on in.
Dude,
hang out, introduce yourself.
Yeah, we got a camera.
Britany, you have to say hello. You want to jump in here for 2 seconds? Huh? No, you're involved now.
Everyone's
yeah,
involved.
you want to jump in? Come on, jump in. For the end.
Hey everybody, you remember me? I bombed last
Yo,
time.
shut up yesterday, and I posted that. Did I post it?
Yeah, I watched
think
it.
I
It's
did.
really bad.
Introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Britany Cardwell.
Britany Cardwell. Hi.
Hello.
This is
Danielle
Sexy
Hernandez.
Mike. This is Sexy Podcast. I better get so many followers off of this.
You just got
Milking
flanked
it.
for beautiful women.
Yep.
I love your necklace, by the way.
Thank you.
Super cool.
It's the internal of a watch.
Oh, watch! I
Yeah.
just look like internal chambers of a heart from here because I can't see one.
Oh,
but that's
cool.
super
I'm
cool.
missing one. I need one. I need
Yes.
a thing.
You know, where's your necklace,
I don't wear jewelry. I don't wear.
I make
I got a
jewelry. I'll
watch.
help you out.
I'll take that.
There you go.
I'll
It's
take
There's nothing
that.
unique
Cool.
about Jimmy.
No, just a cheap watch. Everything's
Well, you
nice
know what?
and simple.
Just show us your watch like this.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do from now on.
From now
It's
What's the time?
You can flex while you do it too. You
Yep.
can be like, what time is
That's
it? By the date.
exactly.
that, you missed that point? Did you miss that point? That's what that was.
Get one of those ones in those.
Yeah, you know that is
That's
can't even
all
see it from there. Yeah.
Once a man took out the garbage like that in front of me because he was ripped like
Yeah.
you are, and he was just like, "Let me just lift this garbage." I was
Have you
only
ever,
15, so I could only spoon privately. But
I've sat across from men before, like at restaurants,
Yeah.
and you can tell they're really into their. Maybe you do this, Jimmy. They're like really into their muscles,
Mm-hmm,
and you're talking to them, and you can see that they're not really paying attention. They're just kind of like flexing, and then looking down, but they
Is it
think
still
you can't
there?
see you. You know, and they're like,
I don't know. I won't do that to myself. And I've never done that. But I'll walk by a mirror, and then if I'm having a bad day, and I'll be like, "Oh shit!" And then I'll throw one off, and I'll be like, "Okay, it's a good day.
there you
We're
go.
okay."
It's the little things.
everybody
Yeah.
does that. Everyone
Yeah.
looks in the mirror and
Yeah.
they're like,
Hells yeah.
Yeah, see,
My
man.
stomach's looking
Especially
good.
I'm like, it's gonna be a
A
shit
window
day. I'm like,
display.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's my reflection.
Yeah, oh.
people in the subway pretending they're just like looking out the window, but you can tell they're looking.
They're
Instead of
watching
looking at
themselves.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's-
I've definitely done
it's
that.
okay.
It's me. But admitting to it is okay.
And you're, tell me about how'd you get into comedy, real quick.
Oh, me?
How'd you get to this point?
Well, I broke up with my boyfriend.
Yeah, those are always good.
And then I wanted him back, but he was already with someone else, and I needed a hobby.
Oh, fuck that guy.
And I ended up
No,
really
don't
just...
anymore.
I mean, no, definitely.
Yeah.
No. It's not worth it anymore.
Was he a comic?
No.
Good job.
Yeah, so then I tried it 1 year. It was a New Year's resolution,
Good.
and it went better than I expected.
Damn right.
So
Yes. Did you say you were from New Zealand or that you moved back from
I
New
lived there
Zealand?
for the last 8 years.
8 years.
And I just
That's
moved back.
Amazing.
Yeah. I'm from Washington State.
Oh, yes. Oh, you mentioned that too.
Yeah.
Did not log, but super cool about the New Zealand.
How'd you get
thing.
into comedy?
Born into it.
Yep.
Literally, my mother's
Oh.
family
You're so late.
is
You're-
a former family.
So you know we covered this. You know we covered
I'm
this.
just happy to be on the
Yes,
podcast.
Yes,
I'll
I
have
do.
you back again. I didn't mean to just
Yeah.
pull you in. That's what I did.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
did mean
We
to,
meant
because
to.
you said,
I mean,
come on in here.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
But
What
I-
about you? How do you get into comedy?
Was
Was this covered already?
Yeah, no, not in this one. Of course, I've talked about it before.
But no one watches, so you
Nobody
say it
watches.
every
The
time.
one person.
Two. There's definitely two.
It's two.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. How did I get into comedy? Some of my frat brothers, I'll give you the short version, were at the area comedy club all summer, and I used to promote shows. And then I was like, they were like, hey, you need to get on stage if you're going to be doing this and get the respect of people. And I was like, all right. And then I kept going to the club, and then eventually at the end of the summer, I finally wrote something, and I was friends with the host, and he used to sell stuff to my frat brothers. And he was like, come, and I got on. And that day, I had actually got harassed by cops, 2 hot female cops. And they were like, yeah, you fit the description, and they touched my junk, and I was angry, and I forgot my whole set, and they were like, yeah, what are you doing out here? I was like, I'm writing jokes, so I'm going to this comedy show tonight that you ruined, and one of them came that night, and we did some stuff, so on my first time up.
You did some stuff.
We did some stuff. There's a lot of holes in this. We did stuff.
I wanna hear about it
We did
someday.
adult stuff.
You know what would be
Oh, you
fun
were
to
the
do?
cop.
Yeah.
Not on set.
No, not on stage.
Oh.
All right,
That's
so
what I
this
was
worked out in
thinking.
your favorite.
Yeah, my favorite.
You know what would be fun is like one open mic where we all do like our first ever joke.
First joke.
Have you done it? Have you performed your first
Can you
joke?
remember your first joke?
I don't
Yeah.
remember. No, I don't. I just talked about. I just ranted about the cops. I forgot my whole set. I was just yeah. I was like, oh, and they touched me, and they said I fit the description. Nobody had these green pants. They parachute pants. Who fits the description with parachute pants and a white T-shirt? And then, but everybody did. It was Philly. But I was just angry. And
Hey, you need that anger for a stage.
yeah, and then
so.
I didn't get on stage till 11 years after that. So.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you made it back. I feel like I'm hosting this now.
Yeah, you can talk. Yeah, you get very good. Very good.
Excellent.
I'm gonna dip out of here.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
You can't just abandon.
Out of frame.
I didn't know you were leaving.
All by myself.
You weirdo.
You know, babies believe when someone goes out of the room they stop existing. That's what just happened. She just stopped existing in this podcast.
Did you see that Bart Simpson episode when he was when he didn't go to school one day and he thought everything stopped, but then he looked out and things were still going on,
No.
and he was like, life is still happening
What?
without me, and he was like, yeah, things still happen. But yeah, that's how we think. I think that when I saw that episode, I was like, is that true? Is that things happen without me?
And then FOMO kicks
Yeah,
in, and
yeah.
you're like, no.
Yeah, now it's like I gotta do so much. Yeah.
You are. You're doing it.
Yeah, I'm
You're
trying.
nailing it.
Yeah,
High five
we're
this
doing it.
hand.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
High five this hand.
This specific
Nobody's ever
hand.
said that. High five this hand. Not
ahead,
that
throw in
hand.
that one.
Fuck that hand. High five this hand. This guy. I don't know where you came
Hey.
from, but we're glad you're
My
here.
brother.
Tell me where are you at social media? What do you want?
Oh, yes, social media. I have a Facebook. And I have an Instagram. Actually, I have two. Okay, so Facebook, I'm Danielle Hernandez. Good luck finding me. I'm one of many.
Yeah.
But my main
Yeah,
photo
about
is
you.
just
I was
like
like-
this. Like Captain
running.
Morgan pose.
As it should.
For
be.
now. Who
Yeah,
knows?
the only you would know when you see
You'll
it.
know. You'll be like, oh, that's definitely that's her.
Yep, that's her.
My private Instagram, you can friend request me. Actually, it's not private. What did I say? Is
you have
it
a private?
Whatever. Crispy Tama with a K.
Crispy
K-I-R-I-S-P-Y.
Tama?
T-A-M-A. Yeah, that comes from an inside joke, actually.
Is that what we're doing? Inside
I'm
jokes?
going to tell you this inside joke.
Nobody's gonna find it. How many friends do you have? Five that know the joke.
Why are you hurting my
I'm sorry.
feelings?
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
no,
apologize.
no. Now you got to become my friend to know the inside joke.
Back to
Second
private.
Instagram is my jewelry Instagram because I do make jewelry.
You do make jewelry.
I do make
That's
jewelry.
dope.
It's
What's the
called
jewel-
Skulligans.
Skelegans.
Skulligans, like elegant, but it's
Skulligans?
skulls. Skulligans.
You
I'm
make
actually
skulls?
wearing a piece right now.
Skelegans.
Yeah. This is a
Nice.
skull. It's Swarovski.
Do you I don't
But they're not all Swarovski. Let me not get your hopes up.
Do you got a black one?
I can.
Yeah. Make a,
I can get one. Is that what you want? I did say
I want
make
a
you a
black
piece.
skull. Yeah, I want a.
All right, you gotta rep me, and then let everyone know.
Yo, I will rep the shit out of it.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, I don't even wear jewelry, but I
Exclusive
wear
jewelry.
that.
Yeah, right now I'm just online. I'm a self-starter with everything.
Damn right.
Yeah. But I mean,
Website?
I learned all of my jewelry skills here in the city at Beads of Paradise, which is
Cool.
over in Union Square. Go check them out. They're amazing.
So many plugs.
All of the
so
plugs.
Many,
I love
all
to
of
support the people
plugs.
I love. So,
That's awesome.
how's yeah? We gotta support each other.
Website?
Website Danielle Marivet. Oh God, I don't even know my website. It's so
Yeah,
new.
yeah,
It's so new.
yeah.
Let me get back to you
Your
guys
shit
on that.
together.
Danielle.Marivet. Blah blah blah.
Is that your middle name?
That's my middle name.
Marivet.
Marivet.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh snap!
Who's that, Peter? I just wanted to yell at Peter.
We're singling out the crowd now.
And
Yes, more
what else?
websites will come soon. Oh, saywhatnyc.com. That is our the improv group I'm a part of. Come check us out. We're a
Got
lot of
shows?
fun.
Got new shows
We
coming
do. February 3rd, actually. That's Saturday. It's at St. Pat's Bar and Grill. That's over on 46th between 5th and 6th. We go up at 7, come around 6:30 to get your tickets, 15 at the door. We do ask that you buy a drink and a food. Please drink with us. And we do short form. So it's like, whose line is it anyway?
That's
So
pretty
we
awesome.
need constant shout outs from the audience.
Brittany, you want to do any shout outs? You here for a minute.
What, right now?
Yeah, you want to do something? Or you want to wait till you come back for real?
Oh, yeah, I'll wait till I come back. I don't want you to ask me about my website either.
Why?
Because I don't have one.
Not prepared.
That's why I got off the stage.
I'm gonna have you back. As soon as I have you back, you better have a website.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Word.
Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow. You're on tomorrow. Hi, sir. Have a seat. Very, very hoarder-like. Let me get this started. Give it up for Danielle. This is the podcast before the mic. You can find this as Jim Peoples the People's Mic podcast. You can find it on jimpeoples.com, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play. Now Anchor is a new podcast. It's one of my favorites because it's completely free. And YouTube, right?
YouTube.
So check us out. We'll be live again. The mic will be live, so you can hang out for that. Thank you guys. Give it up for her one more time.
Woo! Thank you. One more shameless plug. I just remembered I do have a YouTube, and it's I Am a Zygote. Don't question it, just accept it. I am a zygote. Find me on YouTube.
Yeah.
You'll find a random assortment. Actually, I do water meditations, so but that comes from I do everything.
What am I saying? All right, that's about it there. Thank you.